I wore this like jet black, hard front wig, you know, just in like, I know, I look like Snape from Harry Potter. You know, I spoke about him a lot, so I'm surprised that that wasn't played out more on the edit for sure. Maybe I was just saying too many rude things, you know. They were like, we need to cut this out because she's got potty mouth. Hi everybody, it's Vicki Vivacious from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 5, and I am chatting with Cosmo UK. Describe my drag race experience in 3 words. It'd be awesome, amazing, anxiety, that's for sure. I don't think there was a prouder moment than representing Cornwall on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race. There's not been a Cornish queen to ever do it, you know, so it was iconic that I got to be on Drag Race, represent my county. I was so proud. And I know that with the messages that I've had today, I know that that everyone in Cornwall are proud of me. As soon as I got home, the first thing I ate was a Cornish pasty. No, it wasn't. I can't remember my first meal after getting back off the Drag Race. I think we had like a takeaway or something, but listen, there's always pasties in the fridge, no matter what. We've got them in the freezer, in the fridge. My gran makes the best pasties. We make sure we pack them in the freezer. It's, there's not a day that goes past in this household that I don't have a pasty inside me. I'm a massive traditional girl, so it has to be a traditional pasty. The bigger the better. I'm a size queen as well, so get that big old pasty down my throat. On set with Carol and Alexandra was amazing. Can we just assess how goddamn incredible Carol Vorderman looks? I don't look that good at 37, you know. I mean, she is stunning. That's probably why I did so bad, because I just couldn't stop staring. I was like, ah. When they walked in on set, I was just like, wow, in that red dress. I was like, I am so jealous right now. I'm sat here in a cooking dress with my hair in curls. I'd never felt more unglamorous in my life. And then Carol Vorderman walked in and I was just like, wow. And Alexandra Burke is stunning. Like, honestly, just looks airbrushed, you know? It's a queen that was also in the bottom 2 with me. Dee Dee. I thought Dee Dee was fantastic. The look, the mannerisms, the voice, it was just all fantastic. And I was really shocked when Dee Dee was in the bottom, because I thought, Dee Dee was like, well, I think, you know, I'm gonna be in the bottom. And I was like, oh, maybe. I knew I definitely was gonna be. So I was shocked, because I think Dee Dee's look, mannerisms, the voice was just a fantastic, like, blew me away, and it was confusing me. And come on, Ginger stole the show, right? I mean, absolute masterclass in how to do Snatch Game. Well, I looked an absolute mess, let me tell you. My first time in drag was actually on Halloween, and yeah, I think that's when a lot of queens are born, on Halloween. And you would think that I did my fiance always says, oh, you've got Tipp-Ex under your eyes. I've just got these just these big white garage doors as eyes, and it's just dreadful. And I look at the pictures and I'm like, oh my god, there's definitely been a glow up, you know. I wore this like jet black, hard front wig, you know, just in like, I know, I look like Snape from Harry Potter. So looking back on the Untucked moment with Banksy and Cara, for me, it's definitely water under the bridge. It played out on television so much more dramatically than I remember it. You're in such a pressure cooker on Drag Race, you know, everyone's competitive, everyone wants to win and do well, and the second you think that you could potentially be in danger, everything goes out the window and you think about yourself, you know, and that is the truth. And I think anyone would be lying if they said anything different. So it was a moment. I'm glad it happened because it's made great television. But at the same time, I'm not glad if anyone's feelings were hurt, because that was never my intention by saying I think I could have done better and I wish I'd spoken up and taken the mediator role. So, yeah, it was definitely a moment, wasn't it? I think the Lamb to the Slaughter thing is just a thing now, isn't it? I think season 5 has made it a thing. To be honest with you, I think nothing plays out as you remember it. So you remember it one way and then it plays out on television another. So I was convinced I did things a certain way, and then I watch it back and I'm like, I've done nothing that I remember, apart from winning and leaving. The winning the first episode and leaving. They're the 2 things that I know I definitely did. And I know I definitely did bad at Snatch Game. That's definitely in my brain. I spoke about my fiance all the time. There wasn't 5, that's probably why they haven't shown it because they're like, oh my God, this is boring now. Because I literally didn't stop talking about him. I think the girls thought they were in a relationship with him as well. I missed him so much. And I think that really, it's the most time we've ever spent apart since we've been together. So I think for me, that definitely played a part on how I started to unravel, because I was really missing them. And then we did a topic about love in the disaster class. So I had the opportunity to speak about him again. And the more I spoke about him, the more I missed him. And I was just unraveling. And so, yeah, so I think, you know, I spoke about him a lot. So I'm surprised that that wasn't played out more on the edit for sure. Maybe I was just saying too many rude things, you know. They were like, we need to cut this out because she's got potty mouth. People might think Snatch Game is an easy one for me to say, so I'm not going to say it, because there was also another challenge that I really struggled at, and that was the disaster class. I worked so like solely on my own that working with other girls and needing to rely on them for improv and different things, I really did struggle. And that's not a reflection on them, it's definitely a reflection on me. I think I'm so set in my way, and Drag Race has taught me that I do need to loosen up a little bit and kind of roll with it, go with the flow. And that's definitely a life lesson that I've learned. When you go onto Drag Race, you learn so much about yourself that you didn't realise. And I definitely learned that I'm a control freak. I definitely learned that I'm so set in my way that if things change slightly, I panic and I turn into a bit of a demon, you know. I'm a creature of habit and comforts, you know. I'm fast approaching 40. So for me, I don't have the attitude of kind of that, like, yeah, cool, whatever, let's go with the flow, like I did when I was 20, because I definitely had it then. So it's incredible, like trying to wave for a bus or trying to save yourself from drowning, or it's been hilarious. And again, that was such a fantastic week for Ginger, wasn't it? I mean, Ginger is proving why they're there. I mean, it's just amazing. But yeah, the armless dress was a moment, wasn't it? I thought at the time, oh, my runway is so good. I've so got this. So overconfident that week, on the musical week maybe. But you know, you've got to be that way. Otherwise, no one's going to be that way for you. You need to believe in yourself. That's what you need to do first and foremost. So people might say that I was cocky or overconfident. You have to be that way, really. But I did think Ginger's look was fantastic, and it looked stunning. Like, I mean, they looked absolutely gorgeous, arms or no arms. One I went home in. Yeah, I mean, it was just, for me, it was totally going out of my comfort zone, in the sense that I kind of stick to a face and a beat that I'm so used to doing, and I'll change it up a little bit. But my makeup last night was so different to what I normally do. But the look for me was so many different references. It was history, it was theatre, it was, I know people might not think I'm a fashion queen, and I don't really normally say that I am, but you know, I did want to reference Vivienne Westwood in there, and there were so many different things that I wanted to reference that I hope people got. And it's one of my proudest moments in that costume. And it was, I call them costumes, runways, looks. That just goes to show that my drag is so theatre based that I call everything a costume. But yeah, it was one of my proudest moments, that outfit. Michelle definitely said I maybe would have liked a darker lash, like a red lash. So when I had the photos photographed for social media, I did put a red lash on them, and I think it does slightly elevate it a little bit more. So the critiques, she knows what she's talking about, just Michelle, let me tell you. We've got some exciting things coming up, and the biggest thing is, it's being announced today, it's my solo theatre tour that's happening in 24. I'm so excited to go back to my roots of theatre. We'll be performing small theatres across the country. We'll be starting in Cornwall and then making our way up through the year. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. We've got fantastic writers, choreographers, dancers. It's gonna be amazing. It's just gonna be a Drag Race, Vicki Vivacious, Cornish vocal spectacular, and I'm really excited. Thank you for watching. Love most of ya.